So if you've watched some anime outside of Studio Ghibli, you've probably noticed how common it is for sexual violence against women to be used for titillation. I sure have. And for the record, I don't really have such a huge issue with this. What I have an issue with is the denial around that. And while I initially thought about just making a video on the topic as a whole, I quickly realised that would be kind of pointless, partly because I don't touch a ton of this stuff. See this? See this? It's something I'm unlikely to ever watch. I've had an argument about it on Twitter now and again, and I've found the responses fairly delusional. I mean, not to sound like I'm a perfect angel, but as a young man, having walked in on a woman undressing at least once, my response was to walk over, pick up the drink I'd accidentally left in the break room, apologise, her to laugh and say, well then leave. And that was about it. I managed to do that without somehow tripping over a banana and landing on her simultaneously, managing to have both one hand on her tits and a finger in her at the same time. I know it sounds unusual, and if you have watched a lot of this stuff, maybe that does sound like an implausible scenario to you, but to me this excuse comes across as completely unbelievable and contrived. So this is why I decided to speak about Berserk, because I actually like Berserk. It's far more my thing. It fulfills my general desires for violence and drama. It's something I can actually get a good deal out of. But one of the most entertaining aspects of Berserk to me has been the aggressive denial of its extensive portrayal of as awesome. Now, let me explain that, because this is a clickbaity title. Berserk doesn't just portray awesome, it also portrays it as kind of awful. But the best way to explain this would be to go to a Neil Druckmann quote, and hopefully that may have pissed a few people off, so let's keep going. While talking about violence in The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann described it as both awesome and awful, which to me fits. It's a perfect description, and it's a good part of why I like it compared to the violence in something like Doom, which looks so cartoony and fake.
The Slayer has arrived. All mortal and challenged personnel, please be advised.
What are you doing? Oh shit! Goddamn.
There's an appeal to something that both looks kind of horrifying and grim and nasty and cool, badass, and just extremely entertaining. The portrayal of Berserk is basically the same way. And to me, what seems to happen countless times is that people immediately will go to this very clear chestnut, which is, what? You think what the fuck is wrong with you? And to me, this reminds me of a Ben Alton skit. Let me just steal that.
His idea of the front page of your Family Star, the second day he took over it, this is in a civilised country, was to have an entire front page of a naked 15-year-old girl with her hands across her tits, this is the truth, and the headline was, she's only 15, they're already 43 inches, and when she's 16, in 30 days' time, she'll show you her nipples.
Wait for it.
His argument, why there is nothing to be questioned about the lads having an ogle at the 16-year-old big tits on the page 3, was this. He said that there was no difference between the old ogling with the old page 3 knockers and the poncy intellectuals down the art galleries having a look at the nudie paintings of all the nudie old masters, you know, the oil paintings. Now, either Normotep is blind, or he's a liar, which is just a possibility. I mean, I'll throw it out, no more than that. Make of it what you will. Make of it what you will. Or he is a total pervert. I mean, have you ever been down the art gallery? Some cracked old oil painting of a 55 stone 17th century arsehole. It's not going to give you a stiffy, is it? Now, come on. Your average Picasso's got 6 tits. Just get down the old National Gallery tomorrow. Have a look, see if all the old art professors are disappearing to the toilet with the catalogue under their arm for a bit of a wank. Just have a look.
Now, I get I'm talking to a lot of anime fans here, and some of you guys' tastes are weird. I mean, let's not deny that. But I think most of you are psychologically normal enough still to recognise the difference between something that is intended to be attractive and something that isn't. Also, if you didn't get the point of that do not lewd the lolly stinger, please don't use the term lolly in front of me ever. I automatically assume if you call any girl a lolly, you find her to be like just fucking sexy. Please don't do that shit. It's really cringy and embarrassing. Also, can I just point out that the term lolly is basically from a novel about a pedophile who repeatedly a child he kidnapped? Just to, remind you. So, let me just briefly say, before you guys try and do exposed videos on me by digging through my Twitter, but I don't consider myself some paragon of, sexual success and normality. In more nerdy circles, some of the stuff I've done might seem kind of cool, I guess. Point is, to most people, I'd probably be seen as kind of an embarrassment. So there you go. And the second thing is, if you search through my Twitter, you know I'm a huge fan of rants and Alicesoft in general. You want to know why this doesn't make me a hypocrite? Because I never claimed Ranch had a mature and justified and deeply emotional and don't you understand it's about sexual abuse and I cried so much, it's a shame I got an erection at the same time, but I'm not saying any of that. So this is the part of the video where stuff's going to get a bit harsher. So this is your trigger warning, because I'm going to start showing pictures from Berserk the manga. And that means you're going to be seeing monster attempted horse race. I've not dug into Mura's, however you say his name's, catalogue outside of Berserk, but I understand there's some child pissing, fetish stuff out there, which I'm personally glad to have not yet seen. I will hopefully not see it. So this is it. Get out now if you I don't mind people being triggered, to be honest. I think it's a stupid thing to taunt people over. I think everyone kind of gets upset about certain things. I know for a fact I do. So let's talk briefly before I go in on Berserk about, okay, what would be just awful? Well, my answer would probably be The Great Ecstasy of Robert Carmichael. It's a movie I saw when I was 16, and it made me not want to think about sex or touch my dick for probably a month. I found it deeply disgusting, and I think most people would. Nevertheless, I found that the end of that movie has been uploaded to Pornhub, so what the fuck do I know? So let's talk about Game of Thrones instead, because that's the series everyone goes back to constantly whenever someone on Twitter gets upset about Berserk and asks, what the fuck did you recommend to me? So let's talk about one of Game of Thrones' biggest controversies, which is the marriage of Sansa Stark. I'm pretty sure this got quite a few articles. I think Jezebel said they were going to refuse to cover it. Well, let's have a look at that scene.
Yes.
Why? Why are you still a virgin? Afraid of dwarves?
Lord Tyrion was kind. He was gentle. He never touched me.
You're not lying to me.
No, my lord.
Lying to your husband on his wedding night. That would be a bad way to start a marriage. We're man and wife now. We should be honest with each other. Don't you think?
Yes.
Good. Take off your clothes. Oh, no, no, no. You stay here, Reek. You watch. Do I need to ask a second time? I hate asking a second time. Reek, I told you to watch. You've known Sansa since she was a girl. Now watch her become a woman.
Now, personally, I didn't find that scene that shocking, really. But I also wouldn't say there's anything all that tasteless about it. It does stuff about it as tastefully as it could, considering what it had to portray. And yeah, there's no more than that. That's where it cuts off. I know, maybe I feel the need to defend it and say I didn't find anything too, like, overly arousing or too titillating or whatever people who were complaining about it were talking about, because, you know, I've seen The Great Ecstasy of Robert Carmichael. I've seen way worse. So let's talk about Berserk's most infamous scene, the scene between Griffith and Koska. And since it's a manga, I'm gonna have to do it in panels. Okay, so first you gotta get all the clothes removed by these like demon tentacle things, lifted up, like flying off. Those tentacles will be useful later because they gotta justify some rope play in here, basically. You know, you can be a bit more creative with positioning that way. Okay, Costa's ass, clear shot, her sexy from behind. There comes Griffith, here we go. Okay, we got a little bit of tit fondling here. Her lips kind of look overly aroused, to be honest. I mean, just judge me if you like, but that's what the impression I get. Okay, we got some fingering, good shot of her. Plenty of close-ups of her ass, legs, butt, tits, that sort of thing. Yep, that looks almost like ecstasy, to be honest. I'm sorry if you get upset by that. Okay, we got the kiss, and now we're getting into like some cowgirl howled up. Like, there you go, big shot of her, just full focus, her getting fucked. Okay, this is what I mean by this is almost convoluted. They had to have the tentacles to let them do more stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the lesser pages, just a bit of her getting fucked. Now, just standard missionary, I guess. Man, they go in detail. Like, man, that is it's almost like I'd just call this like a porn shot at this point. Okay, now it gets a bit more confusing because it jumps between positions quite quickly in these panels. Like, he's trying to draw more than he can really justify of how she gets fucked. Okay, we're gonna keep on moving, I guess. Going back to Doggy. Yep, Doggy. This one I find weird because he just disappears, so you get a spare shot of her ass. Okay. Guts is getting mad, but you know, her getting fucked is still the focus. Her getting fucked, close up, reverse cowgirl kiss. Moves down, falls over. Good shot of her ass. You can kind of see cum leaking from her pussy here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that should probably kill it. That should be all I need, but I know I'm gonna have to beat on this for a bit. Because even if you found that sequence really emotionally destroying when you first read it, it doesn't really change the fact that it's basically drawn and shot like a porn manga. And bluntly, this is far from the only example of stuff like this in Berserk. It's a pretty regular thing. Just for Koska alone, she tends to be a regular victim of sexual assault. You know, it's not even that long ago. Like, seriously, before this happened, we have another thing with her getting, like, not nearly another demon. So at this point, we got some big demon-looking motherfucker, and he's, like, reaching out for her, grabs her, picks her up. What's he gonna do? Well, to start off with, he's got to be taking off her clothes. I mean, you're a big demon thing, I guess that's normal. Okay, good shot of her tits here. You know, bit of threat, because is he gonna eat her or fuck her? You're not sure. Okay, it looks like she's gonna, like, fuck her with a, like, giant demon tongue. And, okay, good shot of terror / potential ecstasy, depending on how you see it. Okay, Berserk guy, Guts, cuts dude's dick off. I gotta say, that's kind of a cool way to do it. Yeah, credit to them there. That is nice. So Koska falls, and we got a very nice shot of her on all fours with her ass in it, both in 2 panels here. Do you get what I'm getting at, or are you just stupid? Okay, so since it might sound like I'm picking on Japan, let's examine a different manga. So this is Desert Punk / Tsunabozu. I think it's a good thing. So yeah, him grabbing her tits is like 1 panel, not much detail. Okay, we got sexual assault here and apparently ripping clothes. Only 1 thing is shown. Yeah, I know they're minors, but only the absolute most desperate guy will try and jerk off to this as far as pedophiles go. Okay, so we got a bit of story progress. This is moving quite fast. You notice how it doesn't linger on things and give you like lots of sexy up close shots. Okay, we had a chance for some like fetish pish / I don't know, scat fetishism here, but none of that's taken. Instead, it's just depicted quite quickly. And you see how quickly that deals with all that shit? And don't go telling me, like, yeah, I know it's an unfair comparison. It's a quick example of backstory, but I swear if it was Berserk, that thing would have not lasted. Fuck. Sorry, just got a bit stressed out there, people. Yeah, you can absolutely depict graphic sexual violence without necessarily being tasteless or erotic. Like, one of my favourite animated movies of all time is Royal Space Force, which features a main character who tries to sexually assault a woman at one point. Point is, it's less about what you show in a story and more about how you show it and what visuals communicate. And if you somehow are still in denial about Berserk, well, there's only one thing I can show you. think I made my point. Look, I'm not saying you have to have a fetish to like Berserk. I'm just saying it helps.